The mental side of things, as with anything, it is invisible to an extent. You do feel alone and isolated to an extent as well. And with the conversation opening up about menopause, I think a lot of it probably is a discussion on physical symptoms, maybe more so the mental side of it as well. But how can women kind of gain support of that? There's endless products, and I want to talk to you in a bit about, the industry, the menopausal industry. As with any health industry, it can be a bit murky in certain areas and quite exploitive in some areas as well. Um, but the mental side of it, how can women deal with that? The loss of confidence, because I don't think it's something that is majorly obvious. You don't suddenly think, well, this is a menopause, that's why I'm not confident. Because if you're in that lack of confidence, you don't almost have the, not ability is the wrong word, but you don't come to the conclusion of, well, actually it's something else.
Yeah, it can be really hard actually to, you know, untangle what is just getting older, what is just being kind of bogged down with teenage kids or young kids, what is work, what is divorce, grief. Invariably, when we're going through this time of life, we are juggling a lot. So yeah, it's incredibly hard. I think one of the most important things, we talk about HRT, so which is hormone replacement therapy. We talk about nutrition, quite a lot. We talk about lifestyle measures, but actually one of the most important things I think at this time of life is for women to reach out to each other, and to get that kind of community and that support from each other. I think that really doesn't get talked about enough. And I also think that there is quite a big need almost for therapy around this time, if that is available to somebody. I know it isn't available to everybody, it's expensive. But even if you can't afford to kind of to seek out therapy, getting that therapy from your community, from your support, from your family, and from your friends is incredibly important. And actually, I have a menopause kind of community myself called the M Collective, and one of the most I talk, I upload lots of kind of educational content, but actually, I think the thing that most people find the most useful out of that is the fact that they can talk to each other and kind of commiserate and vent, and swap ideas and just have that feeling of you're not going through this on your own.
It's funny, it's not necessarily feeling like you need to have the answer, it's just feeling listened to, it's feeling acknowledged, validated. It can be that simple, which is kind of infuriating how simple it can be, yet how effective it is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and I think often what's happening is because sometimes GPs don't have the training that is needed, because it can be quite a complex topic. Sometimes women aren't being validated when they go and see their GPs. And so, yeah, it kind of sets off this cycle, like you say, of feeling quite isolated and feeling like you've kind of got to just suck it up and get on with it. But I really, for anybody listening, I just really want to get it out there that you are not on your own, and that there are a myriad of different approaches and different options out there. There is lots of medical interventions that you can use, so things like HRT, but there's also lots of non-hormone based interventions that are available. And I don't think lots of women know that, because not everybody wants to use hormones, not everybody can, but there are lots of other pharmacological preparations that women can use. So don't give up. I think if you don't get the answers that you need first off from the medical kind of side of things, make sure it can be very hard when you're feeling kind of bogged down by symptoms, but really try, I think, to kind of advocate for yourself and get a second opinion if you're not getting the help that you want to first off.